Welcome to the 2023 ASVAB practice test. This test has 60 questions with explained answers that will help you prepare for the test. Before we get started, don't forget to boot that like button to see more videos like this. Now here is your ASVAB instructor to walk you through the questions.
Question 1. The family was humiliated by the comments in the newspaper. A. Enraged. B. Embarrassed. C. Wicked. D. Proud. The answer is B. Embarrassed. Humiliated means embarrassed. Enraged means infuriated. Wicked means evil or sinister. Proud means arrogant or feeling proud. Question 2. Paul always buys extravagant gifts. A. Expensive. B. Broken. C. Inappropriate. D. Unattractive. The answer is A. Expensive. Extravagant means expensive or indulgent. Broken means damaged or not working properly. Inappropriate means not suitable. Unattractive means ugly. Question 3. What are the three terminals of a transistor? A. Ground, emitter, collector. B. Base, emitter, collector. C. Base, anode, cathode. D. Ground, anode, cathode. The answer is B. Base, emitter, collector. A transistor has three connectors or terminals, which are the base, the emitter, and the collector. The flow of charge goes in the collector and out of the emitter, depending on the charge flowing to the base. Question 4. A capacitor stores energy in the form of A. Electric field. B. Magnetic field. C. Both electric and magnetic fields. D. Neither electric nor magnetic field. The answer is A. Electric field. A capacitor stores electrical energy in the form of electric field because the DC source creates an excess of electrons on the negative plate and a shortage of electrons on the positive plate. The electrostatic attraction between the positive and negative charges keep the charge intact in the capacitor even when the voltage source is removed. Question 5. Bile is a substance secreted to help digest fats. Bile is stored in the A. Stomach, B. Kidneys, C. Small intestine, D. Gallbladder. The answer is D. Gallbladder. The gallbladder is a small organ next to the liver that secretes bile. If your gallbladder is malfunctioning, eating fatty foods will result in a very bad stomachache. Question 6. Which element in the protein hemoglobin, found in red blood cells, is responsible for binding oxygen? A. Iron. B. Calcium. C. Magnesium. D. Titanium. The answer is A. Iron. Iron is found at the center of each of the hemoglobin subunits, and it is responsible for grabbing oxygen from the air in the lungs and releasing it as it travels through your body. As a result, iron deficiency can cause a lowered level of red blood cells and lower your ability to exercise. Question 7. When a blood vessel is injured, which of the following is responsible for clotting? A. White blood cells. B. Platelets. C. Actin filaments. D. Dead bacteria. The answer is B. Platelets. Platelets are small proteins in the bloodstream that react when the body signals an injury and are the primary mechanism of clotting. Question 8. He bolted down the stairs when the phone rang. A. Fell. B. Skipped. C. Sprinted. D. Jumped. The answer is C. Sprinted. Bolted means sprinted or ran quickly. Fell means to tumble accidentally. Skipped means to bounce or jump over. Jumped means to hop over. Question 9. A farmer is attempting to pull a log with a line of rope attached to a tractor. Where should she watch for breakage on the rope? A. Nearest to the log. B. Nearest to the tractor. C. In the middle of the length. D. No specific point on the length. The answer is B. Nearest to the tractor. The tension on the rope nearest to the tractor is the greatest. This is because tension is greatest where the force is being applied. Question 10. Jeremy chucks a baseball as far as he can. His arm is operating as A. First-class lever, B. Second-class lever, C. Third-class lever, D. Fourth-class lever. The answer is C. Third-class lever. A third-class lever magnifies force in the same direction that it is applied, and the force is applied at a point between the fulcrum and the object. Question 11. Weight is the A. Amount of stuff in an object, B. Density of matter in an object, C. Gravity generated by an object, D. Force exerted on an object due to gravity. The answer is D. Force exerted on an object due to gravity. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. Weight is the force exerted on an object due to gravity. Question 12. How is a wedge different from an inclined plane? A. The angles of a wedge are generally smaller. B. A wedge provides more mechanical advantage. C. A wedge compounds force. D. A wedge is used in motion. The answer is D. A wedge is used in motion. A wedge, unlike a slide, is useful in motion. For example, a knife slicing through a carrot. Question 13. If a large gear drives a smaller gear, which of the following will not occur? A. An increase in rotational speed. B. A decrease in torque. C. A change in rotational direction. D. A change in gear ratio. The answer is D. A change in gear ratio. The ratio of the gears, a comparison of the numbers of teeth on the gears, will remain the same. Question 14. According to the passage, where would a destructive volcanic eruption be most likely to happen? From Alaska to the southern tip of Chile lies the Ring of Fire. In between, it travels along the western coast of North and South America and along the eastern coast of Asia. As its northernmost points, the ring goes through Russia, Japan, the Philippines, and New Guinea. Also going through Australia, the Ring of Fire marks a unique area. It is here that some of the most destructive recorded volcanoes have erupted. A. Anywhere in Asia. B. Along the east coast of South Africa. C. Along the east coast of North America. D. Anywhere along the Ring of Fire. The answer is D. Anywhere along the Ring of Fire. The article states that the Ring of Fire runs along the west coast of both North and South America, and then it runs down only the east coast of Asia, so the other choices are incorrect. Question 15. According to the passage, all of these are years of the Summer Olympics, except every 4 years, athletes from all over the world gather in a different place for the Summer Olympic Games. In 2012, the site was London, England, where 10,500 participants gathered. They represented 204 countries and territories and earned 302 medals in 26 different sports. A. 2016. B. 2009. C. 2000. D. 2012. The answer is B. 2009. The article states where the 2012 Summer Olympics was held. It also specifies that the Summer Olympic Games are held every 4 years. Therefore, 2009 would not be a year the Summer Olympics is held, as 4 years back from 2012 would be 2008. Question 16. The word alternate, as used in the passage, most nearly means the American flag began with a flag created in 1777 and used until 1795. Congress then ordered, with passage of an act, that the new flag be comprised of 15 alternating red and white stripes and contain a blue field with 15 stars. Another change was made by Congress in 1818. This edition of the flag was to alternate only 13 stripes, but a new star was to be added for each state that joined the Union. A. Substitute. B. Rotate. C. Exchange. D. Swap. The answer is B. Rotate. While the terms substitute, exchange, and swap are synonyms for alternate, in the context of the passage pertaining to the flag, alternate most closely means rotating red and white. Question 17. What is the best title for this passage? Geologists in Rome have a new venture. Underneath the city's streets and architecture lies a system of quarries and tunnels. It is believed that these passages were formed in the early days of the ancient city. The main concern for geologists is that the city may sink into the below-ground areas. These professionals hope their studies of the tunnels will help prevent that occurrence. A. Geologists use tunnels. B. Mapping Rome's tunnels. C. Rome's ancient tunnels. D. Studying tunnels to avoid disasters. The answer is D. Studying tunnels to avoid disasters. The title needs to reflect the main purpose of the article. In this case, the author wants to make the point that studying tunnels anywhere, not specifically in Rome, can help disastrous collapses from happening in the future. The other choices do not give enough information to indicate the purpose of studying tunnels. Question 18. According to the passage, what is the oldest known civilization of India? Comparable to the decline of the great Mayan culture, the fall of the ancient Indus Valley people yields interesting information about their daily lives. It seems that this civilization is the oldest recorded civilization in India, yet many of their practices seem advanced. For example, there is evidence of careful and creative design of bathroom facilities, including sewage disposal. What is evident in other ancient societies seems to be missing from the Indus Valley one, namely social conflict, slavery, armed forces, and various vices. The cause of their sudden demise is a mystery. A. Mayan people. B. Indus Valley people. C. Afghanistan people. D. Aztec people. The answer is B. Indus Valley people. Aztec people are not mentioned in this passage. Mayan people are mentioned, but only in comparison to the mystery surrounding why this culture disappeared. Part of the Indus Valley people included Afghanistan, but reached beyond into India. Question 19. I approached the snarling dog with much trepidation. A. Bravery. B. Caution. C. Excitement. D. Recklessness. The answer is B. Caution. Trepidation means caution or fearfulness. Bravery means courage. Excitement means enthusiasm or exhilaration. Recklessness means carelessness. Question 20. She often gets in trouble because of her defiance. A. Loudness. B. Violence. C. Rebelliousness. D. Dishonesty. The answer is C. Rebelliousness. Defiance means resistance to authority or rebelliousness. Loudness means noisy. Violence means cruelty or brutality. Dishonesty means the act of lying. Question 21. Vibrant most nearly means A. Vivid. B. Dull. C. Crooked. D. Shy. The answer is A. Vivid. Vivid means bright or colorful. Dull means colorless. Crooked means not straight. Sly means reserved or awkward when meeting new people. Question 22. The war was most costly in U.S. history. A. Dangerous. B. Expensive. C. Mistaken. D. Rare. The answer is B. Expensive. Costly means expensive. Dangerous means menacing or threatening. Mistaken means incorrect. Rare means unusual or precious. Question 23. She did an exhaustive study on the effects of pollution. A. Quick. B. Angry. C. Healthy. D. Thorough. The answer is D. Thorough. Exhaustive means thorough. Quick means fast. Angry means mad or cross. Healthy means in good health. Question 24. The supervisor of a small company is designing a new open office layout and thinks that employees will need 4 chairs for every 2 desks. How many office chairs will be needed for an office building with 40 desks? A. 64 chairs. B. 40 chairs. C. 20 chairs. D. 80 chairs. The answer is D. 80 chairs. In order to solve this problem, set it up as a proportion with C representing the number of office chairs needed for 40 desks. 4 chairs divided by 2 desks equals C divided by 40 desks. 4 divided by 2 equals C divided by 40. 2C equals 40 times 4. 2C equals 160C equals 80 chairs. Question 25. A mobile classroom is a rectangular block that is 100 feet by 20 feet in length and width, respectively. If a student walks around the block once, how many yards does the student cover? A. 80 yards. B. 75 yards. C. 85 yards. D. 70 yards. The answer is A. 80 yards. Perimeter is equal to 2 times the length added to 2 times the width, or 2L plus 2W. The total distance traveled around the block is the perimeter, which is 2 times length plus 2 times width. 2 times 100 plus 2 times 20 equals 200 plus 40 equals 240 feet. Set up a proportion to convert feet to yards. 1 yard equals 3 feet times yards equals 240 feet. 1 over 3 equals x divided by 240. 240 equals 3x. X equals 80 yards. Question 26. Which of the following is an integer? A. -9. B. 3/4. C. 0.5. D. The square root of 42. The answer is A. -9. An integer is any positive or negative whole number or zero. Therefore, -9 is an integer. 3/4 and 0.5 are not integers because they are not whole numbers. The square root of 42 is approximately 6.48 and therefore not an integer. Question 27. Which of the following is equivalent to 4 times 4 times 4 times 4? A. The square root of 4 times 4. B. 4 to the power of 4. C. 4 divided by 4. D. 4,000. The answer is B. 4 to the power of 4. An exponent is a method of indicating repeated multiplication. For example, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 can also be expressed as 4 to the power of 4. It's known as 4 to the 4th power. The small number, written slightly above and to the right of a number, is the exponent, and it indicates the number of times you multiply the number it accompanies by itself. Question 28. Which of the following is a prime number? A. 27. B. 9. C. 2. D. 12. The answer is C. 2. A prime number is a whole number that can be divided evenly by itself and by 1, but not by any other number. 2 is a prime number because its only factors are 1 and 2. 27 has factors of 1, 3, 9, and 27. 9 has factors of 1, 3, and 9. And 12 has factors of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Question 29. What is the result when 7 is added to the product of 2 and 3? A. 20. B. 17. C. 35. D. 13. The answer is D, 13. To get your desired answer of 2 times 3 plus 7 equals 13, you will need to find out which mathematical operation you should perform first. Use the acronym PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, to determine the order of operations. In this problem, perform the multiplication operation first, followed by addition. Question 30. Which of the following is equivalent to 2 times the total of x plus y? A, 2x plus 2y. B, 2x times 2y. C, 2x divided by 2y. D, 2xy. The answer is A, 2x plus 2y. 2 times the total of x plus y is 2 times x plus y. From there, use the distributive property to multiply the 2 by each term inside the parentheses. 2 times x plus y equals 2x plus 2y. Question 31. Which of these images best solves the problem in the first picture? A, B, C, D. The answer is D. Keep both objects as is, but put the bike tire above the corner frame. Question 32. Which of these images best solves the problem in the first picture? A, B, C, D. The answer is B. Keep the pictures as they are, but put the star above the Pac-Man symbol. Question 33. Which of these images best solves the problem in the first picture? A, B, C, D. The answer is A. Rotate the heart object 45 degrees and rotate the cancel sign almost 180 degrees. Question 34. Which of these images best solves the problem in the first picture? A, B, C, D. The answer is D. Rotate both objects 45 degrees to the right. Question 35. Which of these images best solves the problem in the first picture? A, B, C, D. The answer is B. Rotate the cloud object 180 degrees and rotate the notched arrow 45 degrees to the left. Question 36. Your woodwork has a slightly uneven plane. Which tool should you use to correct the problem? A rasp. B, a file. C, a chisel. D, a plane. The answer is D, a plane. A plane is a tool that flattens, reduces the thickness of, or smooths a surface. This is generally done through the use of an angled blade. Question 37. Drill bits can be loosened and tightened using A, bit. B, flux. C, chuck key. D, bender head. The answer is C, chuck key. The chuck is the part of the drill that holds the bit. A chuck key is used to tighten and loosen a drill bit. Handily, the chuck of some drills are now adjustable by hand and do not require a key. Question 38. The 4 strokes of a 4-stroke engine cycle are, in the correct order, A, intake, compression, power, exhaust. B, intake, power, compression, exhaust. C, intake, exhaust, compression, power. D, intake, compression, exhaust, power. The answer is A, intake, compression, power, exhaust. During the intake step, the engine receives fuel to burn. Then the fuel is compressed. Then the fuel is burned, power. Then the exhaust is released. Question 39. Welders using the electric arc welding method wear face shields to protect themselves from A, gamma radiation. B, ultraviolet radiation. C, X-ray radiation, D. Microwave radiation. The answer is B. Ultraviolet radiation. During this process, the electric arc gives off a dangerously high-intensity light, ultraviolet light. Welders must use protection or risk burning their skin and eyes. Question 40. If the distance between two parallel sides of a bolt head is 3/8 of an inch, which socket drive size should you use? A. 8/3, B. 3/8, C. 1/2 inch, D. 2/1. The answer is B. 3/8. To loosen or tighten a bolt, you should use a socket that matches exactly the measurement of the bolt. Question 41. The rate of electrons through a conductor is measured in units of A. Volts, B. Electricity, C. Current, D. Amperes. The answer is D. Amperes. Amperes is the term for the measured rate of electrons through a conductor. Question 42. Which of these is an acceptable symbol used for amperes? A. Ampo, B. M, C. AM, D. A. The answer is D. A. The letter A is an acceptable symbol used to represent amperes. Question 43. Current is measured using A. A currentometer, B. Wires, C. An ammeter, D. A spectrometer. The answer is C. An ammeter. An ammeter is a measuring instrument used to measure current. Question 44. 32 cycles per second is equivalent to A. 32 hertz, B. 32 ohms, C. 32 positions, D. 64 hertz. The answer is A. 32 hertz. Cycles per second was at one time a common unit to measure frequency, but was eventually replaced by the hertz. 32 cycles per second equals 32 hertz. Question 45. He was able to support 3 children in his livelihood. A. Hobbies, B. Education, C. Neighborhood, D. Career. The answer is D. Career. Livelihood refers to a person's career or job. Hobbies are a person's interests. Education means schooling. Neighborhood is the community in which a person lives. Question 46. The 2 types of electrical current are A. Direct and alternating, B. Backwards and forwards, C. Simple and complex, D. Direct and changing. The answer is A. Direct and alternating. The flow of electricity in alternating current reverses direction eventually, while direct current always flows in the same direction. Question 47. Over many years, the soil at the coast began to erode. A. Wear away, B. Wither, C. Energize, D. Reappear. The answer is A. Wear away. Erode means to wear away. Wither means to wilt or dry up. Energize means to enliven or give energy. Reappear means to appear again. Question 48. The old mattress was infested with bedbugs. A. Guarantee, B. Diminish, C. Overrun, D. Complete. The answer is C. Overrun. Infested means overrun by something. Guarantee means to give one's word. Diminish means to make or become less. Complete means to finish. Question 49. Vocation most nearly means A. School, B. Examination, C. Occupation, D. Carpentry. The answer is C. Occupation. One's vocation is one's occupation or calling. Question 50. One should eat only mature fruits. A. Edible, B. Washed, C. Ripe, D. Sprayed. The answer is C, ripe. That which is mature is fully aged, or ripe. Question 51. What is Newton's third law of motion? A. What goes up must come down. B. Reactions are a result of large actions. C. Mass cannot be destroyed. D. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. The answer is D. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. While there is some grain of truth in each response, only for every action accurately and adequately describes Newton's third law of motion. Question 52. The term equilibrium is defined as A. The state in which opposing forces are balanced. B. The principle describing the notion that every action must have a reaction. C. The state in which similar forces attract, causing a swell of movement in a single direction. D. The presence of motion in the present day, which serves as a means of understanding movement as a whole. The answer is A. The state in which opposing forces are balanced. Though each of the answers may appear to be correct, the description of opposing forces can easily give a hint to readers about the validity of this answer. Equilibrium concerns a state of balance, though that balance may involve parts of the other answer choices. Question 53. What is the definition and the danger of recoil? A. To recoil is to respond in fear, and it is dangerous because engineers and workers need to remain in control. Losing control could result in serious injuries on the job. B. Recoil is the concept of kicking back or leaping back after being released. It may be dangerous due to the possibility of injury upon having equipment leap back rapidly. C. To recoil is to move quickly and efficiently, and it is not dangerous but desired. D. To recoil is to feel revolted or disgusted, and it is dangerous because it creates job dissatisfaction. The answer is B. Recoil is the concept of kicking back or leaping back after being released. It may be dangerous due to the possibility of injury upon having equipment leap back rapidly. The act of recoiling, whether in a human or in a machine, denotes the act of leaping or pulling back after being released or in response to a trigger. Recoil is largely dangerous due to the potential for injury if workers are not paying careful attention to heavy machinery. Question 54. Another word or phrase for false gravity is A. Friction, B. Tension, C. Newton's law, D. Centrifugal force. The answer is D. Centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is the only phrase accurately adhering to the notion of gravity. While tension, Newton's law, and friction are all aspects of this portion of the test, centrifugal force is the only accurate representation of false gravity. Question 55. At which temperature would water freeze if recorded on a Fahrenheit thermometer? A. 21 degrees, B. 15 degrees, C. 32 degrees, D. 0 degrees. The answer is C. 32 degrees. Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 0 degrees Celsius. Question 56. What blood type is considered the universal recipient? A. B, B, AB, C, O, D, A. The answer is B, AB. Those with AB positive blood can receive blood from any donor. Because someone with AB has both A and B antigens, his or her body will not make antibodies against type A or B blood. Type O blood has no antigens. Question 57. During its circulation throughout the body, blood from the left ventricle then goes to which of these locations? A. Left atrium, B. Aorta, C. Pulmonary artery, D. Right atrium. The answer is B. Aorta. When the left ventricle contracts, it squeezes blood into the body's main artery, the aorta. The aorta then distributes blood to the rest of the body. The left atrium is incorrect because it receives blood from the pulmonary veins, and from there it passes through left AV, or semilunar valve, and into the left ventricle. The pulmonary artery is incorrect because right ventricle. The right atrium is incorrect because it receives deoxygenated blood from the body via the superior and inferior vena cavas. Question 58. Which of these substances has the lowest pH? A. Baking soda. B. Lemon juice. C. Water. D. Bleach. The answer is B. Lemon juice. A substance with a low pH is acidic rather than basic. According to the pH scale, lemon juice has the lowest pH and is the most acidic. Water is considered a neutral substance, and baking soda and bleach are considered basic, high pH substances. Question 59. Which color of visible light has the lowest frequency? A. Red. B. Yellow. C. Indigo. D. Violet. The answer is A. Red. The popular acronym ROYGBIV, pronounced Roy-G-Biv, is an easy way to remember the colors of visible light from lowest frequency to highest: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Question 60. The phrase "to adopt power" means blank when working. A. To work authoritatively with a slim, fit physique. B. To use a forceful tone when discussing work with a coworker. C. To focus energy on the lesser objects before moving on to larger instincts. D. To increase speed and efficiency to become your absolute best. The answer is D. To increase speed and efficiency to become your absolute best. While each of the responses may easily correspond to a notion of power, power in manual work is focused on doing one's best, including improving overall speed and efficiency.
Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to take this free practice test on our website, you can search ASVAB Practice Test ASVAB Advantage on Google or click the first link in the description. If you still need more practice, check out these videos.